What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. This is round number 7 of the Frankfurt Regional Championship. And on the left, we have Alex playing, I think, Conkeldurr. And on the right, we have Tamo playing, I think it's how you say their name, Tamo, playing good old classic Raging Bolt here. And this is going to be a very interesting matchup to see. Because Conkeldurr has an attack, the good old Gutsy Swing. It does 250. If it's affected by a special condition, ignore all energy in this attack's cost, right? And the big thing about this is Raging Bolt only has 240 HP. So, these Conkeldurrs are going to be able to one-shot these Raging Bolts over and over again. And wow, 2 Hilda being priced here could be very, very bad for the... Oh, and 1/1 line as well, too. That could be really, really bad for this Conkeldurr deck. So, I hope to see a good showing for this Conkeldurr deck, just so we can show it off. Looks like Alex start with the Fan Rotom and the Brute Bonnets. And if you're Tamo, or you're like, okay, what are we playing against here? What is happening? There's a Brute Bonnet in the field. There's a Fan Rotom in the active. And here we go, using that Fan Rotom's ability. There we see the double Dunsparce. And really trying to get into the Dunsparce Conkeldurr kind of setup. And the Dunsparce is really cool. You draw 3 cards. If you draw it anyway, then you shuffle your cards. Or you shuffle this Pokemon back into your deck. Really, really cool card for sure. But we see, let's see, Dunsparce, and probably a Timber. Oh, we're going to go triple Dunsparce, actually. And, alright, so if you're Tamo here, do you know what's happening? I know at the time, I would have no idea what's happening. I'm like, okay, what is happening right now? We see a triple Dunsparce here, but obviously there's 6-0, so like, okay, what's going on? And there you see the Timber come down, and you can see the look from Tamao here, or Tamo. I want to keep saying Tamao, but it's not Tamao. It's Tamo. But you can see that they are like, uh-oh, this is not a matchup I want to see here. That's definitely not something you want to see when you're a Raging Bolt. This single prize deck that can do 250 HP and just knock me out over and over again. So this is a very, very scary matchup here for sure. But Raging Bolt's going to be able to use their own Nest Ball to find their own. Well, are they playing? Yeah. Oh, actually, okay, interesting. They're actually not playing the Birds list. They're playing an Owl list. They're playing just straight Raging Bolt Ogerpon with no owls. So, really interesting matchup here to see how this kind of pans out and see what can we do. I guess one thing you could do is like try to go the basic Raging Bolt and try to snipe this Timber. So Raging Bolt, the regular one, has Thundering Storm. It does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each energy attached to this Pokemon. So you could hypothetically get 3 energies on it and take a knockout on the bench Timber before it evolves and stuff. I don't think it's possible to get 3 energies on it this turn. Well, actually, no. You can get 3 energies on this turn. If you put down the Raging Bolt, attach energy, and Crispin, you can go about it that way. So that is a strategy that we could see from Timo. But there we see a good old Pokegear, and there we see the Crispin. So, I mean, this play is possible. But what Tamo can do, too, is just try to be hyper-aggressive and just, like, take knockouts and just try to take enough before your opponent gets sets up here. So, you see the 2 energies to the active with the Crispin. Obviously, Crispin, 1 goes in your hand, and they're just saying, okay, this automatically goes down, so I'm not going to... Oh, okay, actually, Crispin doesn't allow you to get 3 energies on it. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, there's no way Raging Bolt can take a knockout turn 1 on this bench Timber. Unfortunately, it has 70 HP, so it's safe. We see the Grass Energy be attached with the Teal Mask, and they actually don't play any kind of energy switch either, so there's actually really no way they could get turn 1 knockout on this Timber, unfortunately. We see the Mew EX come down. We have the Squawk, and we have Iron Leaves and Latias. Pretty interesting hand here. But there we go. Taking the knockout, discarding 1 energy. And on Alex's turn, can they have a crazy turn? And what's cool about Dunsparce is you can put Dunsparce in the active, and then you can evolve to the Dunsparce, and then you can shuffle it back into your deck. So if the Dunsparce comes down, going to use the ability to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you shuffle the Dunsparce into your deck, and then you decide, what do I want to send up here? You could send up another Dunsparce and evolve it to Dunsparce, and then shuffle again and draw 3 more cards. So you really don't have to make a commitment until you know what's in your hand. So the Dunsparce comes down. Okay, I think I see the Conkeldurr. There we see Buddy Poffin. This could grab Timber and another Dunsparce. I imagine that's what we'll see here. Try to get a second Timber online. Yep, there's a second Timber. You see Alex turn the Dunsparce sideways because I imagine there's a lot of like manipulation of like, let's shovel these Pokemon back in the deck. You want to make sure you don't evolve a Pokemon that was put down this turn. So I like the sideways turn from Alex for sure. So, let's see what Alex finds here. So, there's the Ancient Booster Capsule, which you need to activate Brute Bonnet, because if it does have that, you can both players with poison in the active spots, and that's how you activate this Conkeldurr. We do see a Chorus Tenacity, and that's pretty much it. Now, Chorus Tenacity, unfortunately, is not going to be a way to get this knockout, because you find a Stadium card and the Energy card villain put in your hand, and what Alex really needs is a rare candy. Looks like we see the good Enriching Energy. As long as cards attached to Pokemon provides color energy, but when you attach them from your hand to one of your Pokemon, draw 4. So we can see the Enriching Energy to the active, draw 4, evolve the Dunsparce to draw 3 more cards. So there's a lot going on here. So there's 3, there's 4. We do have the rare candy, and there's a Conkeldurr. So we'll definitely see a rare candy Conkeldurr this turn. So they received a Dunsparce, drawing 3, and this is turn 2. This is crazy. We're going to see the Timber come into the active spot. We have the rare candy Conkeldurr, and we're going to knock out this Rage Bolt turn 2. This is insane here. Timber come to the active spot. We have the rare candy into the Conkeldurr. We have the Brute Bond, and you can see Timo is reading the Conkeldurr saying, what does this thing do? How do I deal with this Conkeldurr? It has 180 HP, and oh man, there we go. Both Pokemon are poisoned thanks to that Brute Bonnet, and yeah, this is going downhill very quickly for this Raging Bolt player. So taking the knockout, turn 2, doing 250 with this Conkeldurr, taking 10 damage from poison, and on Timo's turn. So Timo does have, Pokegear, has Ultra Ball, so we could see a Raging Bolt here. We have Sada in hand, but that's not going to be enough. We need 2 energies, and even then, that doesn't knock out. That actually doesn't even knock out this Conkeldurr, because it only do 140, and you need 3 energies on this thing. So, very, very interesting matchup here, and I think it's going to be a bad matchup here. I think it's going to be really bad. As long as Alex can get this Conkeldurr set up, which we saw that game, or saw that turn 2, I don't know how what's going to happen here. So, they receive the Raging Bolt, drawn 3. Now, we can use Teal Dance from this, the Teal Mask to get the 3rd energy plus attached, so we can one-shot this Conkeldurr. But if Alex has another rare candy Conkeldurr, what do you do from there? Alex is playing 4 rare candy, of course, and 3 Conkeldurrs. They actually are not playing any form of recovery. It's very interesting to note. They don't play any form of recovery, but they do play 1 Blood Moon Ursaluna. So that could become maybe a factor late in the game. But yeah, I actually don't see a way for Alex to recover any of these Pokemon. There's no Night Stretcher. There's no Super Rod. They're just playing like a 4-1-3 line, 4-4 to Dunsparce, 3 Iron Brute Bonnet. Yeah, so very interesting thing for sure. So we see the Prime Catcher bringing up the Brute Bonnet. And going to use the first attack here, actually discard the hand, draw 7. Now, this is a pretty big deal. You're hoping you buy a turn, saying, okay, you're not going to be able to do anything, whatever. But Alex plays 3 Jet Energies, and they already have a bunch of cards in their hand. So, you're going to anticipate, oh, there's the Hilda. Hilda's going to find the Jet Energy, and, so there's a Dunsparce. Oh, going for Enriching, actually. Okay. Going for Enriching, not for the Jet Energy. They might not need maybe they already have an energy in their hand, and they just want to get the Enriching for, like, a next turn or something. If they already have Jet, there's a Rare Candy into the Conkeldurr. So already have a Rare Candy Conkeldurr. There's the Dunsparce comes down. And what you could do is just wait. You don't have to use the Dunsparce immediately. You can just wait and see what you want to do with it. Jet Energy to the active with the Dunsparce. Use ability to draw 3. Shuffle back into the deck. Go to send the Conkeldurr. Yeah, and then, like, what do you do on this side now? What Alex probably wants to do is maybe get another Brute Bonnet out. That could be somewhat useful. But nope, just going to take a knockout here, going down to 2 prize cards. So, back-to-back knockouts. This is insane. Oh, man, what do you do here if you're Timo? I guess you just, like, probably scoop, go to the next game, re-strategize how you play game 2. I think that's probably the best play here. But we'll see. So, see, the Earthen Vessel discarding a... What card is that? What is that? That's some fighting Pokemon. What Pokemon is that? Maybe the Slitherwings? Yeah, probably Slitherwings. So we see double energy come down. But what do you do here? Because if you knock out the active, this one comes up and just knocks you out. If you knock out the Brute Bonnet, your opponent just needs a Brute Bonnet and a tool card. So we see double Teal Mask here. Another Teal Mask being used. Actually, don't even have a way to power up this Rage Bolt as of right now either. And yeah, that's going to be game number 1. Wow, what a landslide of a matchup. That turn 2, even they went first and still were able to pull that crazy turn 1 playoff. I mean, I think they obviously would have opt to go second to try to use, you know, the 4 Buddy Poffin and stuff like that. Try to get like the fan rotom and stuff like that. So, you know, they actually, you know, they probably want to go second, but going first, starting the fan rotom with 2 in your deck, that's pretty insane, right? Yeah, they only play 2 fan rotom, and they're actually able to start it. But yeah, just showcasing that this highlight match here, showcasing, you know, the turn 2, everything like that. And there we go. Yeah, so taking a knockout, and there we go. All right. So, yeah, I mean, what do you do? I think, like I said, that you just hope you can like spread, like get the basic Rageable and take a knockout on these Pokemon. Yeah, you can see that they want to go first here, which I do agree. I think you do want to go first to try to get the energy on this baby Rageable and just try to snipe these Timbers if your opponent only puts 1 down. But of course, they put down 2 because they see what you're doing. That could be problematic too. So yeah, both players are going to set up against 6 new prize cards, and so we priced 1 over 2 fan rotoms. That could be a big deal here. Starts to Dunsparce. Oh, actually, they're going second? Is that what we see? I think we're going second here, actually. Yeah, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we're going second. I thought they were going to go first to try to get the energies and play and stuff like that. But we see the Squawk ability come down, and we're going to have to find a way. I mean, I don't even know what you do. Maybe go with Slither Wings and try to knock out Dunsparce that way and force him to knock out a single prize Pokemon. That could be a thing you do. Alex doesn't really have a way to boss around these Pokemon. They do play 1 boss order, so I mean, hypothetically, they could boss around stuff, but, you know, it's doesn't. Okay, actually, Slither Wings gone. Forget Slither Wings, not an option. I really do think that's probably the best strategy, is to really go for these basic Pokemon and try to just take knockouts that way. The problem with Slither Wings, it doesn't even knock out a Conkeldurr, because Slither Wings only does 120 damage, which doesn't knock it out. I mean, early game, you can knock out Dunsparce and stuff like that, but you can only use it once because it does do damage to itself. So that's a big thing here. We see Pokegear. Okay. Alright, so there's 7. Actually whiffed a supporter card there, which I think is somewhat fun. Okay, oh man, they have double Sada in hand and they grab Squawk. So like Squawk is going to discard this hand, draw 7, and you know they play 4 Sada, so like hypothetically we can get, you know, we can draw to more Sada and stuff like that. But maybe they're hoping to find a Crispin to get the energies in play. Oh, this is not good. We do have a Catcher. Catcher could bring up a Timber, maybe? I think that's what you do here. Yeah, I think you have to go for the Catcher. Hope it's heads. Okay, bring up a Timber. Try to knock it out this turn. You see, yeah, there's a little fist pump there. Love to see it. And there we see Squawk discarding double Sada and now Lightning Energy. Playing the Matrix Energy is pretty nice there. Pretty cool. And we do have a Crispin, so Crispin will knockout this turn for sure. So Ultra Ball discarding Aries Zero and a Earth Vessel. What other card do you get here? Yeah, there's the Teal Mask, and what you could do, use Crispin to the active to grab the Fighting Energy, because it looks like the Lightning. Maybe it's, I can't tell really that well what the energy this is. So there's a Grass for the Teal Mask. That's going to go in hand. And we are in trouble is what it seems like. It looks like they don't have the correct energy in their deck. I think that's what's happening. I think there's a Fighting in the active, and they don't have another Lightning. Okay, is that what's happening? They look visibly disappointed. These look like, are these the same type energies? I can't tell. I can't tell. Oh no. Is that what's happening? So Teal Mask, going to draw a card. Okay, get the Pheasantipity, which could be good for the following turns. And yeah, I think that's what's happening. I think they have, yeah, they have 2 Fighting Energies on the active, actually. It looks like they drew a Lightning Energy off that Professor Sada. So that's really, really bad. But on to Alex's turn, they actually don't have too much right now. And it's interesting because Alex really doesn't play that many, like, draw support cards. They play Hilda. Hilda's probably the best option because Hilda lets you find an evolution in an energy. So Hilda's going to be able to find the Dunsparce. and the enriching energy, which I think is the big deal here. So we see the Hilda. I'm going to find the Dunsparce. Going to find enriching. Yep, there we go. We can go enriching onto the Dunsparce, or into the Dunsparce. Draw 4. Evolve with the Dunsparce. Draw 3, and can we pull a crazy play off this turn? We do need a couple things. We still need the Brute Bonnet. We need the Ancient Energy Boost Capsule. We need a Conkeldurr, and we need a Rare Candy. It's not impossible, but it's definitely asking for a lot. So there's the enriching being activated, drawing 4. We do have the Dunsparce. Okay, going to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Going to shuffle that back into the deck. Okay, and let's see what else can Alex do. Do they have another Dunsparce? That can be used this turn. So we have the Ancient Booster Capsule. I see the Conkeldurr. I see an Ultra Ball, but I don't see a Rare Candy as of right now. So I think that's what we're missing right now. I think we're missing a Rare Candy. And now we're down to 0 Dunsparce on the field. Now they do play 2 Artisan. That could find them more Dunsparce. And this is kind of a bad spot with this deck. It's like, now, what do you do here? You're like, okay, I really don't have anything. Help me, Pokemon. But we see Ultra Ball discarding 2 Stadium cards. One is Gravity Mountain, and the other one is Perilous Jungle. Both are useless in this matchup. Perilous makes it where you do more damage to poison Pokemon, or take more damage, something like that. You're already one-shotting everything up as is. And Gravity Mountain makes it where stage 2 Pokemon play has 30 less HP. So those are pretty irrelevant cards in this matchup. So we do see the Ultra Ball for the Dunsparce here. Okay. And yeah, what do we do? What do you do if you're Alex? Like, you're not in a bad space, because like the worst thing that happens, your opponent just knocks out a basic Pokemon. And yeah, that's what we see. Okay, actually I see 2 grass. Okay, yeah, 2 grass energies in the hand. Wow. Okay, so Earth Vessel discarding a grass, getting our grass, and a fighting. Okay. I mean, do they actually have? They don't have any more lightnings? Is this what's happening right now? Oh my goodness. So it's the Earth Vessel being played. We see the Teal Dance, drawing a card. There's a Nest Ball that can find another Teal Dance. I mean, the Teal Dance can hypothetically knock out the Timber. So that's one thing that we could see. Yeah, we could see that. So we're going to look through the discard pile. Looks like we see 1 Lightning. Do they have 2 Lightning Prize and I missed it? Because I think I only see 1 Lightning in the discard pile, right? Yeah, I think that's what we see. I think there's 2 Lightnings prized. And our hand is terrible. So there's a Rage Bolt. So what we could do is we can retreat the active Rage Bolt to... actually, we can't retreat it as of right now. Oh, because it needs 3 energies. Ooh, okay. So fight into the active. Going to use... Drop Defense Dippity and use this first attack, discard your hand, and draw cards. You see that we actually flipped over a card. Oh no, this could be bad. This could be a 2 prize penalty, unfortunately. Oh no, yeah. What happens is if you reveal the deck and stuff like that, I mean, I don't know. They're so like strict on this. You know it's an accident, but now there's like the deck has to be re-randomized and stuff like that. And that's a pretty big deal because now it changes the way the game's played and stuff like that. I mean, the obvious answer is just put the catcher back to where it is, right? That's what you're thinking, right? Put the catcher back to where it is, but now hypothetically, you know where it's at and stuff like that, so you know it's like this far down and stuff like that. So like, that's rough. So that changes the board state, stuff like that, because now you know what the next couple cards are. So really unfortunate that we see a card flipped over. And Pokemon's really, really strict about this stuff. Because now, if you just re-randomize the deck, well, the deck is now re-randomized, right? And so that affects the board state. You could make, the plays different, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's really unfortunate that we flip over that catcher, right? So that you hate to see it. Because it most likely will be a DPL, unfortunately. We'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just a warning. But I know how strict Pokemon are in their rules and stuff like that. Just want to enforce, that we can't manipulate the game state and anything like that. So I imagine we will see a DPL because we did unrandomize the deck. And I guess that's the easy way to put it, right? But, it's unfortunate, but also at the same time, too, like, I think this Conkeldurr deck is, like, has such a drastic advantage that I don't think it's going to matter too much regardless. Let's hope that, it's not a big deal and stuff like that, but they are taking a long time. You see that Amy and Joe are talking, maybe talk about the matchup or something like that. But, yeah, I mean, right now, Conkeldurr doesn't really have too much online, but they do have the one Dunsparce. If they have a Hilda, they can go for another Dunsparce and the enriching and draw more cards and stuff like that. And, even if you don't find anything this turn, the worst thing happens is you pass, and your opponent still only knocks out a single prize Pokemon. You don't play double, you don't play EX and stuff like that, so your opponent has to knock out 6 one-prize Pokemon, which is very hard to do with this Rageable deck. It really does thrive on these EX decks, these 2-prize decks, and that's where Rageable really does, shine. The problem is a lot of people do play decks that aren't 2-prize Pokemon, and that's why you see Rageable not do so well sometimes, because it is hard to deal with these 1-prize decks, like Gardevoir and stuff like that, and Conkeldurr, and anything like that plays 1 prizes and stuff like that. That's why it kind of struggles, and we don't see Rageable do too well in these kind of tournaments, just because there is the variance of not playing these 1-prize decks. So we'll see what happens though. It looks like we're going back into the game, and looks like we did see the Roaring Burst. I'm not sure if they gave a prize penalty. We'll see the 2 red circles come up. I hope it's not that issue, but I won't know because I'm not going to listen to the casters. I just want to keep my headspace by myself. But we see Hilda already from Alex. Alex can find that enriching and the Dunsparce and start powering up their Pokemon. Now they do have Colress Tenacity. Looks like they're actually going to eyeball the Colress Tenacity. Colress Tenacity can find more Dunsparce, but no, going to see Hilda instead. And the reason why Colress Tenacity can find more Dunsparce is because you can go for the Artisan, and Artisan can find stuff that way. I personally just like drawing cards to my deck. You could probably hit, more cards, and all you need right now, actually, you need a lot, right? You need, the Brute Bonnet, you need a Tool card, and you need a Rare Candy Conkeldurr. But, I mean, they have so many cards in their hand. They receive the Dunsparce, drawing 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to shuffle that back into the deck. And they must have something to shuffle their hand that gets them out of their deck because they're not immediately shuffling. We do see Buddy Buddy Poffin and Artisan. So, Buddy Buddy Poffin will find double the Dunsparce here, and the Artisan can find the Brute Bonnet. And I do see the Artisan in the hand. I see a Binding Mochi. I see an Ultra Ball. There's the Artisan being used. Does this find the Brute Bonnet, or do we go for the Dunsparce? It's going to go find the Brute Bonnet. Uh-oh. Will we see an attack this turn? We do have, okay, there it is. And we have Ultra Ball in hand. Do we have the Rare Candy? I think they might have it. I guess you could Ultra Ball for Girder this turn as well, too. If we see Conkeldurr, then we know for sure we have Knockout. It looks like we do have to go for the Girder instead. I guess that's the other Pokemon's name. Gurdurr. Girder. What an interesting name. But going to evolve the bench one. You don't want to evolve the active because it most likely is going to get knocked out this turn. And, yeah, going to look at the discard pile. I don't even know if they have enough time to finish game 3. 20 minutes left. If Timo somehow wins, then, they have to go for a donk play, which is definitely possible with the Rage Bolt deck. But we'll see what happens. We're just going to see it pass, most likely, on a Timo's turn. I'm going to draw a card. And do we have a Sada? That's what we... Okay, so we do have the Energy Retrieval, which is just as good as a Sada. So we see the Artisan being used. And there's the Baby Rageable, and that's what I was talking about. The Baby Rageable could be, wait, okay, maybe not. Just kidding. Okay, we're not going for Baby Rageable. Like I said, Baby Rageable is probably their best answer. We see the Jamming Tower coming down. Okay. Now, Jamming Tower doesn't really affect the Brute Bond that much because it's still attacked. It just doesn't have an effect. Actually, that is a big deal because now, does that make it where it can't work? Once you turn this Pokemon has Ancient Boost Castle. Okay, so yeah, no, it still works because the Ancient Boost Castle is still attached. It just has no effect, right? So that's the big thing here because Brute Bond says as long as it's attached, you can use this ability. So it's still poisoned. We don't care about this, the Jamming Tower. And there we see the Prime Catcher. Bringing up the Brute Bonnet, and we're going to take a knockout this turn. Ooh, there we go. And this is what you want to do if you're Tamao here. You want to be able to knock out this Brute Bonnet saying, hey, If you can't, if you can't get another one out, then we're going to be cooking. Okay, there we go. There we go. Using this effect, drawing a card. It's weak to grass too, if I remember correctly, and that's why we see it being knocked out here. It's weak to grass, and it does 120, which is like what it has anyway, because 3, 6, 9, 12. So on to Alex's turn. Now, Alex can still one-shot this Teal Mask, but like I said earlier, Alex does not play a way to get back Pokemon. So if 3 Brute Bonnets hypothetically get knocked out, then Timo can just, I keep saying Timo, I apologize. Timo can just win because your opponent can't use, they can't affect with your Brute Bonnet. So there we see the Artisan being used for the Brute Bonnet. Attach the good old Energy Boost Capsule. They do play 3 of those. Go to evolve into Conkeldurr. And now, what do you do if you're Timo here? I think you still have to find, a boss order. They only play 1 boss order. Oh, that's rough. You can ping one more Brute Bonnet, but you can't theoretically ping another one unless you get that Babing Raging Bolt. And that's why I keep talking about the Raging Bolt, just be able to snipe. And that might be, the big deal here. We could see next turn, maybe you attach energy to Baby Raging Bolt and boss this up, take a knockout, and then maybe hypothetically next turn you can go for the Crispin. That still wouldn't be enough. That'll be 90. Yeah, I don't know how you deal with it. I don't know how you deal with the next Brute Bonnet afterwards, right? I like I said, I keep saying, I think I would love to see a Baby Raging Bolt being stacked with energies, but unfortunately we do not see that. We do see the Artisan grabbing a Timber, maybe Buddy popping. Oh no, this grabbed this, grabbed this grabbed these 2, and there we see Conkeldurr taking a knockout, going down to 4 price cards on to Timo's turn. We do the Iron Leaves, which is pretty relevant here. We do have the Ultra Ball. What do you grab here? Looks like we are going to eyeball the Mew EX, actually. Okay. I mean, hypothetically, Mew can one-shot a Conkeldurr. Mew can copy the attack of the Conkeldurr and do 250 damage. You don't need the necessary energies because you are Mew EX, but you have to get 3 energies on it, which is pretty hard to do. You'd have to Crispin this turn, attach energy, and the next turn attach another energy. But then, like, if Alex just, keeps these Conkeldurrs up, then you just lose anyway, because you're going to lose another EX and then lose another EX. So here's Energy Retrieval, going to get 2 energies out of their discard pile and put them in their hand. Looks like we are grabbing double grass energies. We can see a Teal Mask to the bench. We have Super Rod, or we have Pal Pad, sorry, this is Super Rod, Pal Pad to get back supporter cards. I don't know what supporter cards even get here. They even matter too much, but they receive Pokegear. Like I said, trying to find a boss order. And no boss order. That is unfortunate. Because what they could do is boss order this turn, knock out the Brute Bonnet, use Pal Pad to get another boss order, or put the boss order back in the deck and take a knockout that way. That's what you want to see here. But it looks like we will not see that, unfortunately. Going for the Sada instead of the boss is very, very bad. Because Alex hasn't even played a rare candy yet. They have not even seen a rare candy from their deck. Now, they do play catchers, so catcher could be a thing that we could see, but I don't see a catcher in the hand, unfortunately. So, yeah, just everything not going their way. No catcher this turn. I think they already played 1 this game, or maybe that was last game. Yeah, I think it was last game, actually. We see the Super Rod, or the Pal Pad showing back and stuff. No catcher, and so we're just going to punch this Conkeldurr in the face, taking a knockout, and then Alex probably can find a rare candy Conkeldurr. Like, they haven't played any rare candies yet. They have a million cards in their hand. They actually have the other Brute Bonnet in their hand as well. So it is not looking good. Alright, so here comes Dunsparce come up. Let's see, what else can Alex do? We see the Hilda. Hilda's going to grab the Dunsparce and the Enriching, keep this party going, drawing a bunch of cards. I mean, if Alex whiffs the rare candy this turn, that'd be, pretty incredible. Because they already have a ton of cards in their hand and barely any cards left in the deck. We see the Artisan finding another Dunsparce, which I think is fine. I think it's fine getting Dunsparce out this turn. Then in the deck, trying to say, hey, give me that good old rare candy, please. There we go. We will see the Enriching Energy to the active, draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We see the rare candy to Conkeldurr. We can shuffle the Dunsparce back into the deck, get the Conkeldurr in the active spot, and yeah, if you're a fan of this Conkeldurr deck, you're about to see it take down this Rageable deck, showing why it could do very well in this tournament if it does play against these EX based decks, right? Now the thing about Conkeldurr, it actually does struggle its own against basic decks like Gardevoir. I think Conkeldurr definitely doesn't want to see Gardevoir either. I think that's definitely a bad matchup for them too. It's a swinging back and forth of Pokemon, but with Gardevoir, they can manipulate the damage on their side with like the Adrenabrain and stuff like that, and take multiple prize cards in one turn. So I think that's why it's a bad matchup still. So Alex is going to Ultra Ball, discarding a Binding Mochi and an Ultra Ball to find another Dunsparce. Actually going to find another Conkeldurr. Do we have another Rare Candy Conkeldurr? If that happens, like, I don't know. Yeah, oh my goodness. Already has the Rare Candy Conkeldurr in hand. And Temo has no way of disrupting Alex's field at all. So if they have their one boss order, even if Temo puts something in the action spot that's not a 2-price Pokemon, you still just lose. Well, actually, the one boss order is priced. But yeah, I don't know what you do here. I guess you just like, yeah, there you go. You have no way to really win this turn, and Alex showing why this deck is so strong against Rageable. So very good showing by Conkeldurr. Very cool to see this deck function well and draw cards and actually win. And not get item locked against like a Dunsparce, or against I guess the other bad matchup is Dragon Ball too, right? But not being Budew locked is actually pretty good for this deck. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for tomorrow.